You won't miss this story, Hannah's exit, Arthorn, till one day Mike and classmates followed their tutor. Subtitles. She sat in on a highly publicized trial, and just as the judge read out that familiar name, Hannah came crashing back into her life like a bombshell. Mike could hardly believe his eyes, with Hannah on the defendant's stand, her demeanor still so strong and calm. At that moment, he truly got to know her. She was quite the remarkable girl, her emotions as deep as the ocean. Hannah was born in 1922, joined the Nazi Party in 1943, and used to guard the biggest camp, Auschwitz. When she moved to a smaller camp to guard, the judge asked if she volunteered, and if she knew of the cruelty. Hannah shook her head. To her, it was just a job listing. She needed work, so she naturally applied. As the judge was trying Hannah, her fellow Nazis sat munching snacks. The judge continued asking her if she knew that the 60 selected each month actually sent to the largest camp for execution. Others denied, only Hannah admitted, causing an uproar. The defendant's lawyer was dumbfounded. The judge asked again in disbelief. Did she realize her actions directly led to those people's deaths? Hannah confirmed she knew, because that was her job. She had to make room for the new arrivals. Subtitles. If she didn't do so, she herself would become the victim. The judge was somewhat puzzled by these words, and her direct response left both the judge and everyone in the courtroom utterly astonished. Yeah, if Hannah didn't carry out orders, she would be at risk herself. Mike kept his head down, but inside him, a storm was brewing. The judge then brought in a survivor, mother-daughter duo, to testify, identifying the 6 guards involved in the selection, with strong memories of Hannah. Hannah had the unique way of selecting people. She would choose the sickly ones, giving them a bit of food and space. At night, she would call them over, thinking they were being coerced into something, but it turned out just to read books for her. At first, they believed Hannah protected them, but next day, they realized they'd still be sent away. Was this kindness? Next, the survivor recounted a more harrowing event. In the winter of 1944, the camp closed, and the long journey of death began. One night, they finally found a place to stay, while Hannah stayed in a nicer room as usual. They were locked in a church, when suddenly they were bombed in the middle of the night. The church caught fire, leading to the deaths of over 300 people. Only this mother-daughter pair escaped. After the war, the daughter wrote a book detailing their experiences at Auschwitz. Past crimes were finally exposed, leading Hannah and 5 accomplices to the defendant's seat in this trial. The crowd's mood shifted from excitement to anger. Mike's classmate felt everyone was shifting targets. There were many camps in Europe, yet only 6 were punished. Where were the others? What was the point of this trial? If only he would take out all the Nazi guards present, trying to erase history to face the guilt, while Mike chose to confront history. Clearly much more painful. He arrived at Auschwitz wanting to figure out what Hannah was truly thinking, but looking at the setup, he still couldn't understand her. At the last court session, the judge pulled out the report about the fire. It wasn't signed. They needed to find out who wrote it. Hannah said they wrote it together after discussing, but the others unanimously blamed her, claiming Hannah was the mastermind. All decisions made by her. Hannah vehemently denied it, and the judge asked for notes for After all this time in court, it was the first time Hannah displayed panic and fear. Mike suddenly understood everything. It turned out that Hannah was illiterate, which is why she loved having Mike read to her. Finally, Hannah admitted being the mastermind for Dignity, and the verdict was out. Dignity mattered more than being imprisoned for life, during which Mike learned to smoke, feeling incredibly conflicted. He approached his mentor saying he had evidence that could help Hannah, that if he told the judge, Hannah might get a lighter sentence, but if he did, morally he'd be aiding the Nazis, plus Hannah being imprisoned for life was holding onto her dignity. This left Mike at a loss as to what to do for a moment. Could you please have a talk with her for me? Mike didn't have time to confront this relationship. The mentor suggested he speak directly to Hannah, so Mike went to the prison. He planned to confront her, but once at the gates, his heart wavered. On the same snowy day, Hannah was no longer the warm person to him. She had become a Nazi. The struggle between love and morality. Ultimately, morality triumphed over love. She turned away and left. He went back to school and discovered his ambiguous relationship with a female classmate, desiring to explore it further, yet found no remnants of past happiness. On the day of sentencing, Mike hesitated outside, while Hannah dressed specially for the occasion. The trial was about to commence, and the general public was shouting angrily at Hannah. The judge found them guilty. All the girls got 4 years, 3 months. Hannah, the mastermind, got life. Her gaze remained calm. Suddenly it fell on Mike in the audience the moment the verdict was announced. Tears streamed down from Mike. In show of pain or hatred, Mike left the sorrowful place, became a lawyer in another city, marrying and starting a family. He thought time would heal his love for Hannah, but it didn't. He sealed away the memories of Hannah. The woman beside him said she didn't understand him. That brief marriage proved it. 10 years later, he returned home with his daughter for the first time. This stirred his love for Hannah, prompting a bold move. Soon Hannah in prison got a package. Inside, there were several boxes of tapes and a recorder. When she turned in the recorder, Mike's familiar voice echoed through the air, and soon he began to recite tirelessly. Sending tape after tape to Hannah, her life began to brighten up. She wrapped herself in blankets listening to his readings. This was the most touching scene in the movie, two lonely hearts drawing close again through the power of words. Until Hannah heard the reading of Spirited Away, her heart felt struck, as if it was the last book Mike read to her before they parted ways.